और बिहारी जू की जय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरन मोहन जू की जय। नित्य रूप विष्णु विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिष्यमार भक्तिवेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय। नित्य रूप विष्णु विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिष्यमार भक्तिवेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्य रूप विष्णु विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिष्यमार भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्यलभ विष्णु महाभगवत श्री गोक्षरस बाबूजी महाराज की जय। नित्यलभ विष्णु श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्यलभ विष्णु वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबूजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानुग गौरी गुरु वर्ग की जय। श्री रूप सतान भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जी गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रमानंदारी श्री गोविंद की जय। नाम जय श्री दास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट विदात गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागम ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्री रास-पाñcādhyāyī की जय। श्री कार्तिक व्रत नियम सेवा की जय। ऊर्जा व्रत की जय। ऊर्जे श्री शिव भानुनंदिनी श्रीमती राधा ठाकुरानी की जय। श्रीनिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Okay, one second. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayaniti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo mahavadanyaya Krishna prema pradayate Krishnaya Krishna chaitanya namne gauratvishe namaha. Guruve gaurachandraya radhikaya tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna bhaktaya tarbhaktaya namo namaha. Yang pravrjantamanupetamapetakrityam dvaipayano virahakatara ajuhava putreti tanmayataya taravobhinedu stang sarvabhuta hridayam munimanatosmi Narayanam namaskrityam narang chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet Shrinvatang swakatha Krishna punya shravana kirtana Hridantasto yabhadrani vidunoti suhritsatam Nashta prashvabhadreshu nityang bhagavat sevaya Bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki Tavai vasmi na jivami tvaya vina Iti vigyaya radhe tvam nayamang charanantikam Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshay Kshiptastakama ditaranga madhe Kripa mai tvam sharanam prapana Vrinde namaste charanarvindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribo, Madhavi Didi, Pajumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, Gargaraj Ji, Rup Manjari Didi. When do we do Sandhya Vandana? So in the morning time, like, I don't know, usually like best if you do it like after Mangalarti, right before the sun rises, then in the middle of the day, noontime, and then in the evening time, dusk time, when the sun's just about to set. All right, so let's go through the previous verses. Sorry, I'm late today, and I don't even know where we'll read up to. I'll just read until 8:30, and then we'll stop where we are. So recap of yesterday. Seeing their beloved Keshav, the gopis experienced a great festival of bliss and were liberated from the anguish of separation, just as people become freed from the pangs of material existence upon receiving the association of a great devotee of Bhagavan. O Parikshit, Bhagavan Sri Achyuta, situated in a Satchidananda form and ever possessed of divine beauty and sweetness, is looking even more attractive today, being surrounded by the gopis, who were relieved from the distress of their separation. Thus adorned, Krishna appeared just like the Supersoul, encircled by his intrinsic potencies. Sorry, guys. Tasamadaya kalindya nirvishya pulinam vibhu vikasat kundamandara surabhyani lashatpadam sharat chandrangshu sandhoha dvastadosha tamashivam krishnaya hastatarala chittako malavalukam. The one and only all-powerful Sri Krishna, looking very beautiful and charming, accompanied by the cowherd damsels to the extremely delightful bank of the Yamuna. There the gentle breeze was blowing, carrying the fragrance of the kunda and mandara blossoms, and the river bank was reverberating with the humming of the bumblebees, intoxicated from the sweet smell of nectar. The autumn full moon diffused its splendid rays and dispelled the darkness of the night, thus making the whole atmosphere auspicious. With her hands like waves, Sri Yamuna piled up soft sand on her shore, creating the stage for Krishna's sweet Leela. Those Vrajdevis became overjoyed to receive Sri Krishna's audience. Transcendental bliss illuminated in their hearts, and thus all their heartache was completely washed away, just as the personified Vedas become totally satisfied when they receive the direct audience of Bhagavan. Similarly, all the gopis' heartfelt yearnings were fulfilled. Using their veils, which were colored with the saffron powder from their breasts, they arranged a seat for their intimate friend Sri Krishna, who was dearer to them than their own souls. The all-powerful Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the Lord of all lords, for whom the best of mystics affectionately establish a seat in the innermost chambers of their pure lotus hearts, arrived at the assembly of the gopis on the sandy bank of the Yamuna. There he sat on the asana arranged by the cowherd maidens, who then proceeded to worship him as his transcendental body, which is the sole shelter of all the beauty and charm in the three. The Vrajdevi's heart, Shri Krishna had awakened pure amorous desire by his supernatural nectarian beauty, honored their gentle smiles, provocative sidelong glances, and dancing eyebrows. Taking his lotus feet and hands in their laps, they caressed them and became very blissful from his touch. They began to praise his beauty and other qualities, but remembering that he had left them, they felt a bit angry and spoke as follows. The beautiful gopi said, "Hey Krishna, there's one kind of person who gives love only to those who love them. Another kind of person is the opposite. They love even those who do not reciprocate their love. A third type is one who does not love either those who love them or who are indifferent to them. O beloved, explain to us these three types of persons and tell us whom you consider is the best." Bhagavan Shri Krishna said, "My dear Sakis, one type of person shows love only when receiving love. Such a person is selfish, interested only in his own profit. He cannot act as a true friend, and he has no inner sense of duty or morality. His loving behavior is actually self-centered, and other than that, he has no other purpose. O slender-waisted maidens, the second type, compassionate persons and parents, give love and affection even without being loved in return. Their selfless, unblemished love comes out from their adherence to religious principles, and thus they are true well-wishers." Okay, that's what we read yesterday, so now we're beginning from this verse. I don't think we read this one yesterday, did we? Don't think so. Bhajatopi navai kechir bhajantya bhajata kuta atma rama hyapta kama akrita guru druha. Some persons do not love even those who love them. Then what to speak of those who do not love them? Okay, so some persons do not even love those who love them. They are of four types. Atmaram, those rejoicing in oneself. Aptakam, one whose wishes have been satisfied. Akritagya, those who are ungrateful. And Guru Drohi, inimical, those who are inimical to one's superiors. One second, just. Hari Bol Indira Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Sridhar Swamipad's Bhāvārtha Dīpikā. In reply to the Gopi's third question, Shri Krishna speaks the present verse, Bhajatopi. Some persons do not love even those who love them. Then what to speak of those who do not love them? Then what to speak of those who do not love them? They are divided into four categories: Atmaram, Aptakam, Akritagya, and Guru Drohi. The Atmaram personalities only rejoice in the nature of the self, and they are unaware of externals. The Aptakam persons are fully satisfied within. They are Purnakam. One second. They are Purnakam. All their desires have been fulfilled. Thus, the sense objects offer them no attraction. Akritagya, the ungrateful, are foolish. They do not remember the favors and love that have been showered on them. The Guru Drohis are very cruel-hearted. Sa pita yastuposhaka, one who nourishes is like a father. According to this logic, one who kindly helps another is to be considered his respectable elder. One who turns against them is known as Guru Drohi. Śrīla Jīva Gosvāmī Pad's Vaiṣṇava Toṣaṇī. Here, Vai has been used to indicate certainty, meaning these persons certainly do not love anyone. He means celebrated. Some persons do not love even those who love them. And what to speak of loving those who do not love them? Yeah, they don't even love those who love them. What to speak of those who do not? Such personalities fall in 4 categories: Atmaram, Aptakam, Akritagya, and Guru Drohi. Akritagya, ungrateful. Such persons do not love out of ignorance. Therefore, they are not so much at fault. It's only out of ignorance that they do not love. However, those who, despite knowing, do not show love are held guilty to a high degree. These are Guru Drohi, those who envy their well-wishing superiors. To criticize a Brahmin who is fit for capital punishment is an offense, and so is ignoring one's well-wisher. Although the word Guru Drohi does not apparently have any special meaning, yet in the secondary sense, it indicates one who does not show any appreciation to his benefactor. Those who are included in this category are devoid of dharma, religiosity, artha, economic development, sohrida, friendship, and doya, compassion. Here the purport is that Sri Krishna is certainly cruel because he abandons the Vraj Devis and disappeared. Therefore the gopis concluded, even though we love Krishna, he does not reciprocate with us. So he must be of those who do not return love. Thinking thus, they counted Sri Krishna in the last category, Guru Drohi, and exchanged knowing glances with each other. Srila Viśvanātha Chakravartī Thakur's Sārārtha Darśinī. In reply to the gopis' third question, Sri Krishna speaks the verse Bhajatopi. Some do not love even those who love them, so certainly they have no regard for those who do not love them. They are of 4 types, and each one is inferior to the previous one. Atmaram, who come in the first category, are oblivious to externals. They are enjoying within and are complete within themselves. Aptakams, the second category, are aware of externals, nevertheless they are purnakam, self-satisfied. Therefore, despite obtaining all sense objects, they have no interest to enjoy them. The third category, akritagya, ungrateful persons, seek gratification from others, but they forget the favors people render them. The fourth category is Guru Drohi. They accept favors from others, but do not admit their indebtedness for such kindnesses, and without any reason act inimically towards those who have helped them. Those who do not have some reason are minor offenders. They are alpadrohi. Nevertheless, they are included in this same category of offense as per Kaimutya-nyāy. And Kaimutya-nyāy means sometimes an example can be given to explain that if a person accomplishes a great task, then it is easy for him to do a small job. Okay. And literally, Kaimutya-nyāy means the logic of how much more, how much less. Denouncing those who maintain and nourish one is one kind of Guru Droha. And those who backstab their benefactors are also in this category. These 3 types of Guru Drohis, without reason, with cause, and backstabbing, these 3 types have no love for in their hearts. The example of maintaining cows and buffaloes for one's selfish interest is given in response to the first question. In reply to the second question, 2 examples are cited: compassionate personalities and mother and father. The third question is answered with 6 examples. 1. Atmaram, 2. Aptakam, 3. Akritagya, and 3 types of offenders to elders. That is, without cause, with cause, and betrayers. In total, 9 examples are given. Okay. 9 examples, because one of them was compassionate personalities, mother and father, right? Yeah. I got it. Sorry, guys, I'm so spaced out. I did 8. Anyways, whatever. Let's move on. Naham tu sakya bhajato pi jatun bhajamyamisham anuvritti vrittaye yata dano labda dhane vinashte tachintayanyan nebrito naveda. Haribol, say Shri Mataji. My dear Sakis, I do not immediately reciprocate with my devotees' loving feelings for me in order to I do not immediately reciprocate with my devotees' loving feelings for me in order to intensify their eagerness to attain me. Consequently, their condition becomes like that of an impoverished man who gains some wealth and then suddenly loses it. Thus, he becomes fully absorbed in worrying over his lost money, so much so that he even forgets about his thirst and hunger. Śrīla Śrīdhara Swamipad's Bhāvārtha Dīpikā. The Vrajadevis considered Sri Krishna a culprit in the third category and hinted this to each other, through their eyes and funny smiles. Observing this, Sri Krishna said, "O Sakis, I am not any one of those. Rather, I am extremely compassionate and friendly." The cowherd damsels might ask, "How?" He responds, "I want to ensure that those who love me should be able to meditate on me without interruption. Therefore, I do not openly show love and affection towards those who love me. Yata, just as, for example, a person gets a lot of wealth and then loses it. Then that person remains continually immersed in worrying over that lost money and even forgets about his hunger and thirst." Srila Jiva Gosvāmī Pad's Vaiṣṇava Toṣaṇī. The Vrajadevis concluded that Krishna becomes happy by performing various activities with them and others. Thus, he cannot be either Atmaram, self-satisfied, or Aptakam, fully content. Moreover, when he bestows the intense distress of separation, then in his behavior, any kind of love, whether with cause or without, is not seen, as mentioned in the previous verse. His astute answers reveal his profound intelligence, so it cannot be that he is unable to understand the favors rendered by others. Thus, he cannot be akritagya, ungrateful. So the only possibility left is the last category, Guru Drohita, meaning extreme cruel-heartedness. This is the understanding that Śrīdhara Swamipada has expressed in his commentary. Actually, the Vrajadevis wanted to prove that Sri Krishna is akritagya. But while answering, the Vrajadevis wanted to prove that Sri Krishna is akritagya, but while answering their questions, he became implicated in more faults. Seeing this, the gopis were very satisfied and started signaling to each other through their eyes and smiles. They asked this question to prove Sri Krishna's cruel-heartedness. "O Sakis, some people do not love me, but still I love them. This love on my part is the most excellent love. So what can be said if someone really loves me?" With this intention, Sri Krishna speaks this verse starting with Naham. Here, by saying tu, he introduces another topic. I do not fall in any of the four categories, starting with Atmaramata. I do not display my love to those who love me. I have explained to my great devotee Narad, "O Narad, I do not live in Vaikuntha. I do not reside in the hearts of the yogis or mystics. Rather, I reside where my devotees lovingly sing my glories. Naham Vasami Vaikunte. That's from Padma Puran, Uttarkhanda, 92, 21 to 22. O Sakis, this statement confirms that I always stay near my devotees, or those who love me. However, the special thing is that I do not give them the charity of showing myself to them. Rather, I reside near them in secret. Do not think that you love me and I do not reciprocate. I was in close proximity to you the whole time, but because I was hiding, you couldn't see me. In the present verse, the word na, not in naham, means that I do not love those who love me. I do not love those who love me. Wait a second, that's confusing. I do not love those who love me? Anyways, and it is implied that this includes even the gopis. Even before expressing such cruel words, when this thought just arose, Sri Krishna experienced an intolerable pain in his heart. Extremely tormented by this pain, he spoke Naham as if he had forgotten even the proper manner of conversing with the gopis. Here, Sakya means, O confidants, my dear friends. By this address, Sri Krishna wants to indicate to the cowherd damsels that I am not Atmarama. Rather, I enjoy dallying with you. I display indifference towards you, but I don't do this with just you. I act this way with everyone, Jantun, every living entity. So do not be apprehensive if I seem to disregard you. The gopis might ask him, you have affection for us, but why do you make it appear that you do not love us? Sri Krishna replies, in order to ensure the uninterrupted flow of the meditation of every living entity, I do not reciprocate openly. I do this in order to intensify my devotees' love for me to the highest degree. When their love reaches the state of maturity, then only can they meditate on me continuously. The gopis might reply, our meditation is always focused on you, and all the time we are worrying about you. So why do you act in this way with us? Shri Krishna responds, this is true. Nevertheless, I want to ensure that prema reaches the super special state of complete maturity. Therefore, I do not visibly reciprocate. Shri Krishna gives an example to bring home this point with the word yatha, just as. For example, if a poor person receives some wealth and then loses it, he will become absorbed in worrying over that lost wealth, forgetting everything else. Here, the word vinashta expresses the intense agitation of that poor person. Therefore, as a result of that agitation, the heart of that poor person is continuously immersed in worrying over his lost wealth. In this way, Bhagavan subjugates everyone by his beauty, qualities, etc. As he is replete with all perfections, he does not need anything. He only looks for love. Therefore, he is totally detached in all respects and is equipoised in every circumstance. Nor does he expect the return of favors. In this regard, he is similar to compassionate personalities like Prahlad and well-wishing persons like one's mother and father, but his benevolence and well-wishing behavior are vastly greater. The reason for this is that the love that controls Bhagavan is not easily obtained. Nevertheless, he bestows that love which is the crest jewel of all the goals of human life. This also shows that Bhagavan relishes an unprecedented joy, tasting the prema ras flowing from his dear devotees. The reason for this is that he is ever eager to increase the waves of love. For this, he even tolerates the pain of separation from his dear ones. Srila Viśvanātha Chakravartī Thakur's Sārārtha Darśinī. The gopis might say, "You are not included in the examples of the first and second questions, namely 1. Selfish persons, and 2. Benevolent personalities and parents. But which category of examples mentioned in the third question do you fit in? Expecting this question, Sri Krishna replies, "O Sakis, do you desire to hear me admit my own defeat? O confidants, O crest jewels of those expert in casting sidelong glances and exchanging mischievous smiles with each other, please listen. I am Atmaram and Purnakam in my form as Narayan. But as the son of Nanda Maharaj, I am neither Atmaram nor Purnakam. Being a cowherd boy, I have not studied ethical conduct, so I am ignorant. I am akritagya. However, I am omniscient in my form as Narayan, and consequently grateful, kritagya. I have satisfied you over and over again, sharing pleasure-filled pastimes with you. Only once did I abandon you. Due to this offense, you are accusing me of being Guru Drohi. But now I have come back and am giving you the bliss of seeing me again, so I am not Guru Drohi." The gopis might continue their interrogation thus. "Then please tell us positively, what category do you belong to?" Expecting such a question from the cowherd maidens, Sri Krishna speaks this verse, Naham tu. Tu has been used here in a different context. Jantun, with my devotees. I do not show my affection to the devotees. I do not show my affection to the devotees who are worshiping me. Gopis. So how are you different from the other types? Krishna answers, my devotees worship me by loudly singing my names. To protect their worship, I do not outwardly acknowledge their amisham, their love. O feeble maidens, you are unable to understand my intention. I am telling you about my nature. Listen. Those who are seriously engaged in worshiping me develop humility when they are unable to have my audience, despite the intensity of their sadhana. That devotee will think, alas, all my endeavors are futile. Therefore, I certainly must be an offender. That is why I am not getting even a drop of Sri Krishna's mercy. Fie on me, fie on me. In this way, every moment their detachment and humility increases. Thus, there is no chance for lust and anger to develop, and their bhakti for me intensifies. This is how I protect the practice of bhajan of those who have not yet achieved perfection. To those devotees who have achieved perfection and developed prema, I also do not show my love in order to protect their mode of sustenance, that is, their attachment to me. I give them a glimpse of me and then disappear. That increases their attachments to me. In this way, they become like a penniless person who unexpectedly receives some wealth and then suddenly loses it. Such a person will become completely immersed, worrying over it, forgetting even his hunger and thirst. Thus, their attachment to me increases, and this is what I desire. Outwardly, I do not show my affection, but in secret, I give them even more love. In this way, I am indeed merciful, and you are the example of the middle question, that is, those who love in spite of not being loved. Some think that if I give my darshan to my devotees, I am loving them, otherwise not. This explanation is illogical. The reason is that I have declared, Ye yata mang prapadyante tang sataiva bhajamyaham. As all surrender to me, I record them accordingly. That's from Gita 4:11. I cannot behave in any other way. Evam mararto chita lokaveda svanam hivo mayanuvrittaye bala maya paroksham bhajata tirohitam masu yitum marhatatat priyam priya. O tender maidens, there is no doubt that for my sake you have given up all social etiquette, the path of religion prescribed in the Vedas, and all your near and dear ones. Wanting to ensure that your mindset remained fully fixed on me, I went into hiding, but was continuously loving you the whole time and listening to you professing your love for me. Please do not see any faults in my love. You are my beloveds, and I am your lover. Śrīla Swāmī's Bhāvārtha Dīpikā. You have come to me without considering proper or improper social etiquette, or religiosity, or irreligiosity, as delineated in the Vedas. Furthermore, you have even rejected all relationships with friends and family, members, foregoing your affection for them. To ensure that your love and attachment for me would continue to increase, I hid myself. Nevertheless, I was attentive towards you the whole time and was secretly listening to your love-filled conversations. Delicate ones, my beloveds, please do not hold any grudge against me. Jīva Gosvāmī's Vaiṣṇava Toṣaṇī. Shri Krishna speaks verse Evam Marartha to tell the gopis that he was indeed very close by them the whole time. Evam, in this way. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:29-5 relates, one gopi who was milking a cow dropped what she was doing and went to Shri Krishna. Marartha, for my sake, you cowherd damsels have given up everything, all religious principles mentioned in the Vedas, social conduct, and relatives and friends. Hey Abala, O feeble women, it is practically impossible for a weak person to give up all these things. Nevertheless, you have done this and come to me. It is not proper for you to accuse me of neglecting you. He explains the special reason behind this with the phrase Priyam Priya. I am your beloved, and you are my sweethearts. Consider a person who suddenly receives wealth from somewhere and by destiny loses it. He will worry over it so much that he will forget everything. Similarly, I had hidden myself in order to increase your loving passion towards me. Just look, these clear footprints are certainly those of the great soul Sri Nandanandan. Oh, that's what they were singing. Just look, these clear footprints are certainly those of the great soul Sri Nandanandan. 10:30:25. These words you spoke testify that you could not see me, even though I was nearby. The gopis might ask, what were you doing hiding from our vision? Shri Krishna replies, I was relishing your love talks and appreciating your affection for me. You might ask me, what is the reason for showing us such kindness? You maidens have given up your husbands, children, brothers, friends, social considerations, and Vedic Dharma for my sake, Mad Artha. Everything else is according to Śrīdhara Swāmī's commentary. In the last line of the verse, the word ma, do not, has been used twice. Ma'asuyitam madarhata. Madarhata. Do not condemn me. Thereby, this word ma has been used twice, thereby strongly emphasizing the point. I am your lover. I am your priyam. and you left everything for me. So it is not proper for you to denounce me. Indeed, I am your Dhir Lalit Nayak, your submissive hero. So you can blame me for causing you extreme distress. The gopis responds, how can such an accusation be proper? Shri Krishna replies, O my precious sweethearts, a lover should not behave in such a manner with his beloveds. Therefore, you are justified in blaming me. This shows Shri Krishna's cleverness and the skill of humble entreaty. Srila Viśvanātha Chakravartī Thakur's Sārārtha Darśinī. The gopis might object. You say you don't give darshan to two types of devotees. Jantun from the previous verse. Those whose love for you has reached perfection, and those whose love for you has not awakened. So you don't give your darshan to those people in order to increase their propensity for meditation. It is indeed appropriate for you to reciprocate in this way, and there's no fault in this. However, if you deal with us in this same manner, then are we also to be counted among those ordinary living entities? Shri Krishna, anticipating such sorrowful words from the gopis, responded with remorse. O cowherd damsels, you are dearer to me than millions of my own lives, and are like particles of dust at my lotus feet. Today I treated all of you like ordinary persons. You should forgive my bad behavior. With this intention, Shri Krishna speaks the verse Evam Marartha. The Amar Kosh dictionary defines Evam in this way. Defines Evam as in this way. Krishna says, without analyzing what is proper and what is improper, you cowherd damsels have abandoned all accepted etiquettes, religiosity and irreligiosity as delineated in the Vedas, as well as the affection for your intimate kinsmen, friends, and wealth, and have come to me. To increase the intensity of your love for me, anuvrittaye, I disappeared from your sight and was indirectly favoring you. At the same time, I wanted to hear the love-filled words you spoke in my absence. In extreme humility, Shri Krishna admitted, my behavior towards you was quite wrong. In the past, present, or future, there cannot be devotees like you. Your love for me is so vast that there's no possibility of it ever diminishing. Just like an atom or a supremely situated object cannot undergo any decrease or increase in size. I acted as I did out of desire to show other Premi Bhaktas the great excellence of your love during separation. You should forgive me for my inconsiderate behavior. You are leveling accusations against me, but this is not appropriate. You are all my beloved sweethearts, and I am your lover. The lady love does not recognize any defects in her lover. Wow, and now we finally come to my Gurudev's favorite verse of the entire Srimad Bhagavatam. And so, since this is such a special verse, I think maybe we should end here and we can begin with it tomorrow. Oh, this is the last verse of the chapter. Oh, maybe we should just read it now then and then complete the chapter. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay. So I might go a little bit over time, but we did start late. So na parayehang niravadya sangyujam swasadu krityam vibudhayushapiva yama bhajandur jarageha shrinkala samvrishtatarva pratiyatu sadhuna. O beloved gopis, Your loving relationship with me is completely pure, free from any trace of desire for personal gratification. To serve me, you have severed the arduous shackles of household life and have transgressed established customs of society. I will be unable to repay one drop of your love, sacrifice, and service, even if I live as long as the demigods. Only due to your noble nature, you can absolve this debt. Even then, I will be eternally beholden to your prem. I think tomorrow we should read my Gurudev's commentary on this verse. There's a article in Raise of the Harmonist. Śrīla Swāmīpad's Bhāvārtha Dīpikā. O cowherd damsels, let us end this discussion. Now hear the genuine final truth. With this intention, Shri Krishna speaks the verse Naparayeham. Your contact with me is completely spotless. Even if I receive a long lifespan like the demigods, I will not be able to repay you for your exemplary behavior. You have served me by completely cutting asunder the shackles of household life, which are impossible to break. I, on the other hand, will never be able to reciprocate with you, because I love many devotees. My mind is not one-pointed like yours. Therefore, may your own meritorious activities be your reward. No endeavor on my part can free me from this debt. Only you can do this through your amiable disposition. Srila Jiva Gosvāmī Pad's Vaiṣṇava Toṣaṇī. The word va, unto you, the possessive case, the sixth vibhakti, indicates relationship. I am unable to compensate your meritorious service. You have performed an unparalleled activity. Such behavior is totally beyond my capacity. What is that extraordinary? Your connection, samyuja, with me is completely pure and unblemished, niravadya. Although my meeting with you appears like mundane lust, factually it is saturated with unalloyed pure love. Your attachment to me is one-pointed, your hearts being focused exclusively on me, as your husbands have never even touched you. Yeah, you young brides from respectable families have taken shelter of me only after obliterating the severe shackles of domestic life. Doing so completely destroys the comforts of family life and the promises for happiness in the next life. You have surrendered fully unto me with supreme affection, but my love is harnessed in many other places. I am not one-pointed, so I am unable to return the same type of love to you. The word ya, you, has been used without connecting the word va, to you, that is mentioned in the end of this verse. Moreover, later on, that va is joined, having as an essential or inherent part. Therefore, the word va has been used in the first person. Everything else is per Śrīdhara Swāmīpad's commentary. Vibhuddhayushapi, a life as long as the demigods, can be further interpolated as a lifespan even longer than that. Even great mathematicians cannot calculate the span of life, of this span of time, vibhuddha. Even if I receive an infinitely long lifespan, which is beyond count, I will still be unable to offer a suitable restitution for your virtuous activities. The phrase geha shrinkala, the chains of household life, indicates plural number. However, in some books it is read as geha shrinkalam, which is singular in number. In either case, the meaning remains the same. The word durjara means which is very difficult to cut. You have broken the shackles, the shrinkala, imposed by daily household chores, such as caring for the cows. Furthermore, you have served me by abandoning the obdurate bondage of family affection. Obdurate means stubbornly refusing to change one's opinion or course of action. However, I could not do the same for you. And the phrase Durjara Geha Shrinkala, the word Durjara, difficult to sever, is the adjective, and Shrinkala, shackles, is the metaphor. The purport of this is that by one's own strength, no one can ever sever the shackles of domestic life, which are very difficult to break. Moreover, in samvrishya, to cut, the word sam, or samyak, indicates that it is impossible to give up this attachment somewhat in the heart. It is possible to give up this attachment somewhat in the heart, but it is very difficult to execute this externally. However, you cowherd damsels have shown your love for me by nicely sundering the unbreakable knots of household life. I, on the other hand, have not surrendered unto you without expectation, as you have done for me. Thus, I do not have the ability to reciprocate to your love. The commentator offers a humble confession. I surrender unto Śrīdhara Swāmī. Being pleased with me, he keeps me under his shelter and nourishes me by bestowing upon me the entirety of the unlimited wealth of transcendental mellows. That should be in square brackets, this part here. Anyways. Śrīla Viśvanātha Cakravartī Ṭhakur's Sārārtha Darśinī is just one page. Oh, my dear beloveds, listen to the thoughts running through my mind. Our meetings together are unblemished, devoid of any mundane lust or fruit of desire, beyond social etiquette and scriptural injunction. Your saintly nature is inherent. It is not originated by contact with some other sanctified object. Even if I receive a long lifespan like the demigods, I shall not be able to repay my debts to you in full. With this intention, Sri Krishna speaks this verse starting with Naparayeham. Here the word krityam has been used in the singular to indicate I am unable to repay you for even one single favor that you have rendered me. You have shattered arduous family ties, that is, the love and affection of husbands, in-laws, fathers, brothers, etc. And after breaking these bonds, you do not revive your connections with these persons, unlike immature mystics who continue to harbor attachment to family. However, on my side, I adore you and at the same time maintain loving relationships with all others, including my mother, father, brother, friends, and relatives. So with you gopis, I am unable to keep my vow to reciprocate with devotees in the same mood in which they surrender unto me, which is in the Gita 4:11. It is impossible for me to repay you in any manner. Your good character itself is your reward. It is only out of your magnanimous nature that I can be absolved of this debt. But in reality, I shall always remain obliged to you. This is Sri Krishna's mood. Hearing all this talk, the gopis thought, Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is full with all transcendental qualities, devoid of even the slightest defect. He is the authority in loving dealings, yet he is proclaiming the superiority of our love and minimizing his own. He is forfeiting his own superior position in order to serve us and remain eternally in our debt. Oops, it says are in debt. Therefore, we are unfortunate because we wanted victory over him, but he is eager to establish his own defeat before us. Indeed, he is intent on broadcasting the excellence of our love. We cannot be like him. As a result, Krishna's love has surmounted us. Thus ends the Sārārtha Darśinī commentary of the 32nd chapter of the 10th canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. This is approved by saintly persons. It gives bliss to the hearts of the devotees. Thus ends the Bhāvanuvāda of the 3 commentaries, 1. Bhāvārtha Dīpikā, 2. Saṅkṣepa Vaiṣṇava Toṣaṇī, and 3. Sārārtha Darśinī of the 32nd chapter of the 10th canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So tomorrow we will begin the last chapter of Rāsa-pañcādhyāyī, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 10:33. Shri Krishna performs the grand Ras dance with the gopis. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandhar Vikagiri Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pavishram Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosvāmī Maharaj Shri Gurudev Ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pavishram Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Vaman Gosvāmī Maharaj Ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pavishram Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Swāmī Maharaj Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Swāmī Maharaj Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishimar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvāmī Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishimar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitya Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Śrīla Gorksharas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitya Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura Ki Jai. Nitya Pravishta Vaiṣṇava Sarvabhauma Śrī Raghunathas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Anuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jīva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath Shāda Gosvāmī Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Ṭhākura Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Sarva Abhishta Bharata Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai. Radha Kund Shama Kund Yamuna Ganga Tulsi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Grantaraj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Ki Jai. Shri Sarva Rāsa-pañcādhyāyī Ki Jai. Shri Sarva Vraja Devi Gan Ki Jai. Raseshwari Shri Vrishabhanunandini Shrimati Radha Ṭhākurani Ki Jai. Shri Virjendra Nandan Sham Sundar Shri Krishna Chandra Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Shri Kartik Vrat Niyam Seva Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Sattvatai Namo Namaha Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat Pranam to everybody. Yeah, I don't know if we will be able to finish by the end of Kartik because the last chapter is a little bit long. That would be cool though. Let's see what happens. I'll try to start on time from now on. Yeah. All right. Dandavat Pranam to everybody. I also want to read that article by my Gurudev. Maybe I should read that at a different time though so that we can keep our pace again. Anyhow, yeah. There's a beautiful article in one of the Rays of the Harmonists about this last verse that we just ended with. All right. See you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe. Thank you so much for joining me. Hari Bol.